Right, put down the big stand-up bass now.
I'm just getting used to it,
Yeah,
though.
keep playing.
Okay.
Play it. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Here we go, bro. Billy Joe. Oh, they're playing a song they call loneliness, 'cause it's better than singing alone. This is Butch in bed with somebody. This is Ray all fast. This is me holding gas and having sex. What's up, everybody? What's up, everyone? Foostorians in the house. History for Foos. Butch Escobar.
What up?
All right.
Yo.
Dun, 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 dun. It's been a long time since I rock and roll. History for Fools turning into a music store.
I love it, dude. I got to learn how to play this thing now. I want to learn how to play the ukulele.
I know how to play a Stairway to Heaven.
Dude, you're pretty good with that thing.
Here's some Stairway to Heaven, man. If you guys don't know it, here we go.
Let him hear it, dude. Great, actually, it's really good. Bro, I'm so high right now that I was actually chilling out. I started to forget we had a podcast, but I was like really.
I also know.
Yeah, I was getting into that.
Also know. Welcome to the Hotel Burbank. What's up, everybody? We're here at History for Fools. If you're listening for the first time ever, your history. Welcome. You're late.
Did you ever hear about the Hotel California growing up as a kid, like what that song was about, or like the?
I didn't have older brothers,
huh?
So I was the one that would have to start that.
I heard all these rumors. But the one I heard most that it was about Folsom Prison. And I still listen to that stupid song sometimes and try to figure out how it's about a prison. But I can't get anything out of it. Very cryptic song, Hotel California. I still don't know what Colitas is.
No, eucalyptus tree.
Is that what he's saying?
So you can smell eucalyptus tree.
The swarm smell of Colitas.
Oh.
But he's saying eucalyptus. I don't know if that was accurate, dude. I think he just made that shit up.
That's my eucalyptus.
I think it's... Is it? Dude, look at
Or maybe he's saying...
I think he's saying
Or maybe
colitas.
he's saying colitas. Because there was a type of weed back then with a long stem, which was tie stick.
Oh, really?
In Mexico, they're probably calling it colitas. I don't know.
See, I thought he was making up a word for...
And why am I wearing these?
But eucalyptus is actually... Because you can smell... on a warm night in California, you can smell the eucalyptus trees. Right? You totally can. Which are not... they are not native to California. And when you see eucalyptus trees all through... California, it's because those groves were made to sell
Let's see what
them,
it says up
and
there.
they use eucalyptus trees to stop the
On
wind on
a
the farms.
dark desert highway,
Cool wind in my hair.
warm smell of what?
Colitas.
What is colitas? Eh?
What is colitas, dude?
Well, it smells like something like tacos de colitas.
He's just saying.
Imagine.
He's saying ass. Colitas is a Spanish word that translates to little tails. In Hispanic culture, it can be used as slang for, warm smell of colitas.
The bud of the cannabis plant.
Oh, okay.
I knew I guessed it right.
Yeah, you were, dude. Good
'Cause
job,
I
dude.
remember
Someone had to figure that one out.
I smoked with a immigrant,
these guys
a
talking
Mexican
about.
immigrant, a recently arrived immigrant.
Right.
He was saying, the comedian. I was doing a Spanish show. He said, "Dame una de las colitas por ahí." And I go, "Colitas." And I brought this girl with no ass. And he goes, "Not that." But it was the little thickness, chubby part of the bud before you cut it.
Bud. Oh. Fuck, dude.
Well,
These
you were
white
right,
guys,
bro.
Dude. You were right, dude. Good.
So what else do the lyrics say? What else? We're confused.
Yeah.
Also, you could check out anytime you want, but you can
You
never
can
leave.
never leave. Meaning, like, dude, because to
That means
me,
you're
if you're in prison, you could be like, fuck, dude, I'm fucking done with this place.
After when he say that you could check out anytime you want, but you can never leave, I thought it was like that could have been used for a Raid commercial for the Roach Motel.
Right.
Roach's
yeah,
chicken.
that's right.
Roach's chicken, but they never check out.
You think this is about a cockroach singing about the Roach Motel?
Yeah, bro. He's telling. Maybe it was a derogatory song, and he's singing about immigrants coming in from the South. Welcome to the Hotel California. Look at it. It says, mirrors on the ceiling. They drink champagne or not. And she said, we're all just prisoners here off our own device. So you break it down, bro. Mirrors on the ceiling, bro. They're already locked up. Pink champagne, bro. I don't know what that means. And then ice. Just leave ice.
Like, they didn't have ice back then.
But you know, conspiracy recite secret codes.
Right, yeah, dude. I think the immigrant one is actually not a bad way to go with that.
Because he's probably telling whoever bringing that weed to California, welcome to the Hotel California.
Right.
Let's make this deal.
Like California itself is the hotel.
Yeah, and they're gonna walk, or maybe they're being at a hotel. And they're about to do this drug deal about with marijuana, because later on he has another. They have another song called the Smuggler something. Look up Eagles song, the Smuggler song.
Eagles songs about the song.
So I'm pretty sure the Eagles, before they were out there messing around, bro, they were bringing weed inside California, bro. Smuggler's Blues. What are the lyrics on that? Glenn Fry, bro. He's from he's the lead singer of the Eagles. What it says.
Trouble on the street tonight.
There it is. So, baby, here's your ticket. Put the suitcase in your hand. Here's a little money now. Do it just the way we planned. You'll be cool for 20 hours. I'll pay you 20 grand. Let me tell you, man, if a rapper would have been doing those lyrics with the N-word and because he's really saying, here, woman, take this cold cash, see you in 20 hours, I'll give you 20 grand.
Right.
So he pretty much talking about smuggling and bringing in drugs.
Yeah.
But since they're singing it with a nice rhythm and a nice bass, rock and roll song, it just sounds cool, bro. But if you're like rapping, let me rap it real fast. I'm sorry.
So, baby, here's your ticket. Start at the top.
No matter if it's heroin, cocaine, or hash, you got to carry weapons because you're always in any cash. cares? That's a whole drug dealer song, bro.
So go back to the top. Let me try this. Let me try to rap it.
So Hotel California.
Go to baby. Go to so baby. Here's your ticket.
Put the suitcase in your hand.
Here's a little money now, bitch. Know it just the way we plan.
You be cool for 20 hours.
And I'll pay you 20 grand.
I'm sorry, it won't go down like this. And someone had to lose.
It's the nature of the business.
It's the
Smuggler's Blues.
Biatch.
Biatch.
Smuggler's Blues.
Yeah, okay, all right. We could start a rap band and just do covers.
We should just have somebody write a nice little cool beat, and then we just rap songs like this
right.
that are already written until somebody figures it out.
Someone else, yeah. Until we get what he called copyrighted.
So somebody walks up to it and goes, "Wait a minute, man, these motherfuckers didn't write that."
Dude, I did
this
that.
This was sampling rules. Yeah, bro, we're opposite of rappers. Some rappers, they sample like the song and the beat. We sample the fucking lyrics.
That's right.
Fuck the beat.
Sampling lyrics.
On a dark desert highway.
Cool wind in my hair.
I can smell the localita.
Rising up through the air. That was a hard one to do, actually.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it, though.
Here we go. History for Foos, man. I love cereal. Do you love cereal?
I love fucking cereal.
I love cereal. What was your favorite? Let's see how many cereal we could come up with, bro. Starting with the letter A. Alphabet cereal.
B. B. What's we're doing this or B. Cereal that starts with B.
Blueberry. Okay, you couldn't get it.
Blueberry. Oh, dude, you had that?
Check cereal. D.
Why you keep giving me the hard ones?
Dunkin' Donuts cereal, bro.
That's not a cereal, dog.
It is. Look it up.
It's not a cereal.
They're right there. Look.
Where? Dinky Donuts. There are.
Dinky Donuts.
Dude.
I know cereal.
Dude.
E. E.T. cereal, dog.
E.T. cereal, bro.
Come on, bro.
I can't.
Did you study? There it is.
I didn't study for this.
F.
Fruit Loops.
Okay. G.
Oh, Golden Grams. That's like my favorite as a kid.
You're a big sugar bear.
Hell yeah, bro.
H.
Huckleberry
House cereal. Huckleberry House cereal. Look it up.
Well, they're gonna have a history for full cereal one day. There's no Huckleberry Hound cereal.
Bro, I'll shoot myself.
Here, Halvesies, dude. What is Halvesies? I've never even heard of that.
Oh, you don't want to go there, bro. That was the first pronoun cereal. It was them vowels. It was like alphabet cereal, but it was all pronouns.
All right.
Like you be eating, you get a she, you get a he.
You get a Halvesies.
I get a them. Oh man, I grew up on cereal, man. And
what was your favorite?
Man, we couldn't get sugar cereal in my house.
Okay.
So man, we were lucky. We had cornflakes, bro.
Oh, dude. During this whole thing, I forgot to bring it with me, but I ate like 4 boxes of cornflakes. Listening to this, we didn't have sugar cereals either, but Golden Grams was our go-to because my mom thought they were like graham crackers, so she thought they were healthy. Like she thought they were healthier than other cereals, so we did get to get Golden Grams.
I used to say that when people ask me what the horchata tastes like, I would tell them that it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal.
It does. It totally does. And then we would get cinnamon toast because my mom thought, well, I make them French toast in the morning. Like my mom would equate things like that. And she wasn't a dumb lady, but I just think in her mind she had to justify why she would buy. Because we had Apple Jacks, dude. I remember that.
Speaking of Apple Jacks.
But we couldn't get Cookie Crunch to save our lives.
When Joy Medina was a struggling comedian, we went to his house, and that fool had the bootleg Apple Jacks.
No.
Apple Dabbles.
Yes, I've seen those. Yeah.
There was a redneck guy picking apples.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. You got to have the fucking... Dude, that's the one thing that I don't fuck around with. Those are the Malto Meal cereals.
Bro, Does it turn you off?
And those are bad,
would it turn
dude.
you off, bro, if you go to a girl's house and she's all dressed up real nice, but there it is, Apple Dapples,
Apple
dog.
Dapples, look at that.
Oh, dirty
Go
frog.
down to the frog one, bro. Okay, yeah. Get out of here, bro. If I saw that in your house, dude.
That cereal, like, fuck, is sponsored by Chepo.
I'd ask if you needed money if I saw that in your house. Like, how fucking, dude, how bad is your life that you have to eat Apple Dapples over Apple Jacks? Apple Jacks is like $4 a box. Apple Dapples is gross, dude. The multi-meal cereals ruin fucking breakfast cereals, dude.
Bro, my daughter lives in Sweden, and she was missing, like, some American stuff.
Right.
So I shipped her a box, and I put, like, 4 boxes of different cereals because they don't have cereal over there.
They don't have cereal over there?
You know, in Mexico,
Cereal's an American thing then?
yeah, and a Northern American thing, because in Mexico, there's a ban on sugar and making products attractive to kids. So Tony the Tiger doesn't look like Tony the Tiger no more. They got rid of it. It just says, look up on Frosted Flakes cereal box in Mexico. Sucaritas, bro. Look.
Oh yeah, they took the tiger off.
Yeah, they took the tiger out, bro, because no more, like, they don't want to attract it to kids.
Oh, you can't put cartoons and stuff on there. You can't, like, mask.
Bro, that's the bootleg Frosted Flakes in Mexico, bro. Sucaritas.
Hey, this makes sense, though, bro. For real? And it's made by Kellogg's, too.
Yeah, it's the same brand.
This makes sense because, like, if you can't make...
Sucaritas, bro. It just tells you sugar.
Bro, if you can't make tobacco products that appeal to children, then you shouldn't be able to make... Because, like, I do feel like we're learning at this point that sugar, especially the sugar we're using, which isn't real sugar, like cane sugar, like, a lot of that sugar shit is fucking, like, corn sugar and stuff like that. That stuff is so poisonous and so bad for us. And I do feel like, yeah, if you're going to outlaw fucking... great flavored cigars, then you should be outlawing fucking like cereals that appeal to children like that. Like,
all right, we know you voted for Jill Stein, bro.
I didn't vote for Jill Stein.
I'm just kidding.
I'm a Bernie Sanders man, by the way. Thanks for coming to LA, Bernie. Bro, you have like the
Cocoa Krispies.
You have the Cocoa Krispies, and then you have Snap, Crackle, and Pop. And they look like kids, and it looks safe. And it's like, why wouldn't I get this for my kids? Like, even now, bro, think about it. If you're an immigrant parent, especially if you come from a country where they don't have cereal, and you see these little kids on here, and you see, like, Toucan Sam on the thing of Fruit Loops. I'm sorry to be a bump in the log or whatever you call it, but fucking... that shit gives you diabetes, bro. And I know that because I have diabetes.
But see, bro, you used to eat the whole box in one day, though.
Fuck yeah, I did. Dude, I've been fucking up boxes.
Bro, there were 7 kids in our house, and we didn't eat the whole box in one day.
Yeah, no, I fuck up boxes of cereal, dude. I used to pour them in pots, like sauce pots, and then eat them with a big old fucking wooden spoon when I moved out of my mom's house.
So you're saying that your bowl of cereal was this big,
Yeah,
huh?
so almost, dude. Or more here. Hold on. It ranged from anywhere this size. From this size. It was definitely mostly this size, the smaller one. But sometimes when I didn't clean this pot, I would use this pot.
and you were like 5?
Yeah. What?
You were like 5?
No, I was 21, dude.
Oh.
I moved out of my parents' house. No, my mom would make me eat out of bowls. I remember trying to eat out of... I tried... Because my cousins would eat out of pots. And I was like, that's genius. You can pour the whole... You don't have to keep pouring the bowl. Because that was my thing. And like, I remember one time sitting down with a pot after I came over with my cousins. I'm all, no. My dad's all, no. We're not doing that. We're not animals. You're not eating like that. Put that back. Go get a fucking bowl and a spoon. But as soon as I moved out of my parents' house...
Me, bro, I was a serial killer, bro.
Fuck yeah,
I would
dude.
get up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, take a big ass shit, and then I probably, and back then I was a loser comic, so I was living in Echo Park. I would just hit another bowl. Fuck it. What are you gonna do?
Right.
And then I would just start eating cereal, watching TV, and go back to sleep, and get up at noon and eat more cereal.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to eat Frosted Flakes because I had a cousin named Miguel, and that fool used to love eating whatever he ate, and he'll make for dinner, whatever he ate, bro. He always made a quesadilla,
right,
a fat quesadilla with two flour tortillas.
Fuck yeah.
And it was and then like with jalapenos in them, and he'll eat that, dipping it in beans and sour cream, and then he'll top it all off with a big ass bowl of Frosted Flakes.
Fuck yeah.
With banana in it. And he's watching sports in Spanish.
That's
always his go-to. Dude. Did he offer me a bowl? Never. Let me watch.
Did you get to watch Saturday morning cartoons when you were a kid? Was that a thing you got to do in your house?
Only my dad was too hungover to get up, bro, and I watch soccer, boring ass soccer.
Oh, really? Fuck. Ray, did you have that as a kid, Saturday morning cartoons? Fuck,
I would get up in the morning.
That was a cereal golden hour, bro.
We didn't have a lot of cereal in my house, bro, to eat. We had my mom would like get us fatter with other stuff. Like she'll get up in the morning and they'll go to the local bakery and bring like a bag of pan dulce.
Ooh, that'll get you fat.
So
quick.
We have pan dulce, bro, big ass conchas, all kinds of pan dulce, and then we have refried beans on our plate with two fried eggs and big slap of Farmer John ham on the side and sausage.
Good Lord, bro.
And then pan dulce with milk too.
See, we got lucky. We got that like in the morning. My mom would cook, and we would get tamales with
cereal.
No cereal. It was but my mom would make tamales pancake style. You ever heard of this? Like, I guess this is a Southwest thing. Please correct me, people, in the comments if I'm wrong, which you guys love doing. But it's like she would stack, put a tortilla, sauce, cheese, tortilla, sauce, cheese, tortilla, sauce to like a stack of pancakes. And then she would drop an egg or two over it.
Yeah, that's good, bro. I've seen that before.
Holy fuck, it was
delicious.
amazing. Delicious.
No, that's Southwestern huevos rancheros.
Okay.
But that right there, the way he did it, I seen that shit at a restaurant once, and it was all these motherfuckers making lasagna, but it was delicious.
So bomb, bro.
Some people deep fry the tortilla like that, and they layer it on top. But that is delicious, by the way. If you ever get a chance to eat it like that,
that's
the way
what she would do.
about.
Yeah, she would deep fry it a little bit, throw tortilla,
and cheese,
sauce, then another one.
So you're eating like basically a 4-layer chilaquiles, but it's not called chilaquiles because chilaquiles, the tortillas are tortilla chips. That's it right there. That shit is bomb, bro. Or you could get it with a sopapilla if you want to get extra fat.
So good, bro.
You want to get really extra fat? Have someone make you that on an Indian fry bread.
Oh my God, in a sopapilla. Holy, I've had that with peppers, those hatch chilies.
Yeah.
Oh. Bro, fuck, dog. I have kind of a triggered memory with the pancake style though, because I remember the first time my mom's Southwest. My mom's from El Paso, but like she would usually do the rolled up enchiladas, but that morning I think she just felt like doing something different. I made a face and she had a knife and she goes, "Fucking laugh one more time. Laugh one more time at the food I make for you." And she was serious. She wasn't trying to be funny. I remember my dad being like, "Lori, put down the knife." I was like, as a little.
All the Loris I met have never been nice people.
Childhood, dude.
All the Loris I met in my life have never been nice people.
No.
Lori here, Lori, my baby mama, Lorraine, Bobbitt.
Yeah, dude. Well, my mom told me that they could Lorenza, because her real name is
name,
Lorenza.
bro.
Lorenza's
Lorenza.
it's like a name like you call someone in Spanish. Like it's a name.
Lorenza's Boyle.
But like that Lorenza, like where she's from, it meant like you were crazy or something. I was like, yeah, no fucking shit, dude.
Morning breakfast cereal was advertised as us as kids as a delicious cereal as part of your breakfast meal. But let me tell you, man, no one ever ate it the way it was advertised. No one ate Frosted Flakes with a side of toast and butter and orange juice.
No, because they would say it's part of a balanced breakfast.
What part of what balanced breakfast who?
Bro, I was a renegade.
Because they told us we learned the 5 fruit groups, and no one ever said Frosted Flakes.
No one, never, not one of, not even cornflakes, which is like the normal version. But that's the thing, though, is like, okay, not even, okay, so I know this just by my own calculations because I've been doing the research this week, and whenever we research a food product, I go crazy. Like when we did Chinese food,
yeah,
I didn't stop eating Chinese food. And since we were doing cornflakes, I was like, how friendly is cornflakes for my diabetes? It's a wheat. It's like a type of wheat, right? And it doesn't have any sugar because it's cornflakes. It's supposed to be boring. Dude, I ate 3 bowls of cereal one night, checked my blood sugar. Usually, if I eat too much with like starches or something, it's 189. 320 was my blood sugar after 3 bowls of fucking
Jesus Christ
of cornflake cereal.
There's a lot growing up.
I kept eating.
There's a lot of bad cereal out there, and a lot of them claim like eight vitamins and whatever. Let me tell you, man, my mom they never look in the back to see what vitamins they have. She knew that shit was $8 or $5.
Right.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Fuck nutrition.
Also, man, did you know that Kellogg, he was the first person to put a prize in a cereal?
Yes.
I have a top 10 facts of Kellogg's.
Let's go.
I got it right here.
Let's hear it, dude. Because we're about to talk
Here
about
we
the
go.
Kellogg brothers and Marjorie.
Here it is, bro. Right here. Top 10 facts about Kellogg's cereal originator. John Harvey Kellogg and his brother Will Keith Kellogg revolutionized breakfast by inventing cornflakes and other cereals.
Creepy fucks.
And top 10 facts. Invention of cornflakes. John Harvey Kellogg and Will Keith Kellogg accidentally flaked wheat berries, leading to the invention of cornflakes. Sanita's Food Company in 1897, they started the Sanita's Food Company,
Right.
focusing on whole grain cereals. Healthy breakfast. They promoted cereal as the healthy breakfast option, contrasting with the standard breakfast of eggs, meat for the wealthy, and porridge for the poor. Kellogg Company, Will Keith Kellogg founded the Battle Creek Toasted Cornflake Company, later becoming the Kellogg Company in 1906.
Right.
Kellogg was one of the first companies to use nutritional labels on the food.
That's right.
And we're just talking about that. My mom never read that shit.
Nah, but they did.
But if you have it, people feel safer.
Right. John Kellogg was very much about being healthy and making it more healthy.
They also
America.
pioneered the inside-the-box prizes for children.
Right.
During the Great Depression, Kellogg ensured his plant operated with 4 to 6 hour shifts to provide jobs.
That's right.
Kellogg played a crucial role in shaping the breakfast cereal industry. Their legacy continues. But people don't know about Dr. Kellogg also that he also was an innovator in nutritional health.
Right.
And he was the first person to open up a gym.
Yeah. He was the guy
A sanitarium.
All our health regimens come from this guy.
Like,
this guy pioneered basically.
You think about
exercising,
going in cold water, he was doing it.
Right.
Because
he was into water cures. He was really big into water cures. The thing is at this time when Kellogg first started coming about, doctors were coming out of what was called quackery, where it was like, now it was more science-based as opposed to like, we need to rub garlic in your eyes to get your fucking pink eye out or whatever, and like...
Somebody told me about a skin tag.
Yeah, dude, there's all that stuff, those myths. So at the time, our diets. America went from like having no money to having lots of money to spending lots of money. Even like poor people had a lot of money.
Toasted cornflakes right there. That's Frosted Flakes.
Like because the farm, you would get up in the morning and you would have bacon, or sausage, or both, ham, or all three, eggs, potato.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Not everyone in America could afford to eat that every morning, huh?
At that time, this was prior to the Great Depression, and that was the thing. Things were good for everybody. So yeah, people were eating that was the problem, was that we used to eat like this when we were poor and on the move, and it was sparse, and you had small portions of it. But
it was working and moving, right? They were walking around.
Well, you had to kill your pig for the year, and then you had to make your sausage. You had to make your own ham, and so whatever you had, and it was also not processed. This is the beginning of processed foods. And the thing is it needs to be processed because we are eating on an exponential level. The United States is growing. We are more civilized now. We've become a first world nation. We're leading the world in economics. And so Americans have money to spend, and we're the first kind of spending culture. That's the thing, that's America. We're the spending culture. And so we have money and we're eating like shit all the time. Dude, people are having 3-course meals for lunches and breakfasts, And so like those were rich people who were eating like that. But if you were poor, even if you were poor, you would get up in the morning and you would take the gristle from last night's sausage. You take the leftover sausage, you chunk that up, maybe throw on a couple eggs from the chickens in the morning, and then you'd eat that, and that was your breakfast. And then also the problem is that if you were the farm wife or the wife of the house, you'd have to get up at like 4 in the fucking morning to stoke the fire, get it going, get people, get everything ready, get the food ready, prep food, and then you would cook breakfast, and then you would see your family off. This guy comes along.
When does she have time for a selfie?
Well, that was the good thing. There was not a lot of IG back in the day, but the thing is that the biggest plague at that time was what was called dyspepsia, which is like a random term for all your stomach problems. So your digestion, you're diuretic, you're shitting yourself, you have digestion, you're like throwing up blood, you have people were getting really sick because they couldn't figure out what it was. And then Kellogg comes along and he goes to a nice school in New York funded by the Seventh-day Adventists, and he learns about health and comes back and he learns from another guy who's like a nutritionist. And then he studies from that guy, and that's kind of how he figures out, he thinks meat is bad for you. So he starts thinking meat is bad for you and
start pushing vegetarianism.
Start pushing, dude, this guy's an innovator in a way, Kellogg's
and fasting.
He's fasting. He's doing enemas.
And they're doing that yoga, not that they do a lot of yoga.
Yes,
and they do that. They do a lot of what people do now. Like they think they're like it's something new, but he actually traveled the world to learn a lot of this stuff. He started the haha yoga,
right?
Where everybody just sits there, starts laughing,
right?
That's how that movie starts. The Road to Wellville.
They're all, is that what that is?
Yeah,
that's laughing yoga.
Laughing yoga.
No way. And he got that from India, right? Yeah.
And then they have those machines that make you shake your body, lose your fat.
Because they were under the impression that you just needed to move that part of your body
to loosen up your gas.
Yeah, to lose weight.
They did a lot of enemas, bro.
Enemas. He was big.
Yoga enemas.
So here's the thing is, Kellogg's painted in 2 different ways, and I had to go through different things, and I want him to be in the better light, obviously, because he did do a lot of stuff. But this guy was also obsessed with shoving things up people's assholes and liquid.
That's why he put prizes in the cereal, because you know that people want to shove toys places.
I don't think that's why he did that, but okay. None of what this is history for fools. None of this is. Someone asked me the other day, "Do you guys get fact checked?" And I'm all, I don't know if anybody's gonna fact check that one.
Because it's not real. It's a joke.
Dude, it's a comedy show. We don't get fact checked, but we also don't know if our facts are correct.
But
anyway.
If Butch laughs, that means it's not real. That's a fact check right there. That's
you get me, though. There's times, bro, where especially when we're out somewhere and you're like, that's the place where this and I'll be like, no way. And then you start laughing at me. Then I go, okay, fuck, you got me. But yeah, there's a lot of stomach problems, and people need a place to go, and so this guy comes along.
So people had anxiety, and there was nobody was treating that anyway.
Right, and he was attributing it to diet. You know what's weird, bro, is they called this guy a quack for a long time, and a lot of his stuff was quackery.
Because you have a headache because you eat too many apples.
Right, or yeah, he was like, yeah, and that's kind of how he was. But now the food that we eat, people are realizing that it does cause these things that he said. Like people say, "Oh, I'm always depressed. What do you eat?" "Oh man, I eat a lot of bacon." "That's why, man. You got sickle cell too." Well, dude, I think even when we were listening to the podcast for this and stuff.
Shout out to History Chicks.
Yeah, shout out to History Chicks for doing the Marjorie Post stuff, because there's almost not a lot of information on her. We'll get to that in a minute. But, when they talk about how he was crazy for doing yogurt enemas, I don't know, bro. You come to find out yogurt has now we know that yogurt has cultures that are good for your stomach. And I've never had an enema. And I don't know if I ever will.
I have lots of enemas.
But
haters. Trolling me all day. Why he over here in LA liking a team in South London and shit.
Enemas. Enemas.
That enema machine right there?
That's gross, dude.
They were just they're group enemas at this place, huh?
Yeah, they had people all together getting shit sucked out of their buttholes, dude.
Did you notice that that there was no, but even though he was ahead of his time, because he invented all this nutrition, all this physical activity, all these exercises that people actually do now. Like there was no one standing in front getting a bunch of people to exercise outside of the armed forces.
Well, yeah, right? Yeah.
Nobody was doing that outside the armed forces.
Even then, they weren't doing that in the armed forces.
No, he was.
They were like, we're just going to show you how to shoot a gun, and you go out there and you shoot the gun.
And I noticed that he did all this with no gym clothes.
None, bro.
There were no
These
gym
people
clothes.
were in their suit and ties.
Back then, khakis were considered gym clothes.
Yeah. And they didn't have
These ladies were all in dresses swimming, bro.
They didn't have running shoes. They were just out there the thing is, dude, is but that's...
I mean, there was no sneakers.
So jogging wasn't a thing until the late 70s.
No,
right? But he was having people jog on his property.
I thought they were crazy.
Yeah, and bro, and that's the thing is there are things that he did do where he would have electroshock therapy, or he would in the movie he has those people dipping their feet in saltwater electrified baths.
And celibacy was a big thing.
Celibacy, he was crazy. He never had sex with his wife. He never ever had sex himself.
But he did put a lot of stuff in people.
He put a lot of
on that woman, Lauren Flynn Boyle.
Bro, there's a lot of titties in that.
Road to Wellville, please watch it.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of titties, and there was there was one scene where there was she was in the milk bath, and
milk bath. See, this guy was having milk bath, and also Dr. Kellogg was practicing with a lot of lotions that people do now. Incense, people are smelling.
Right. Yeah. And he was experimenting with tinctures. He was experimenting stuff that we are now finding out.
It works.
It works. Like I said, a lot of the stuff I read made it seem like the yogurt enemas were stupid, but it's
I think coffee enemas are stupid. So I never tried it.
I don't know. I kind of want if I'm gonna do an enema, coffee enema, I want to see how awake I would be.
So anyway, Dr. Kellogg has this whole big Oh, a little snippet from last week's podcast. Pio Pico.
Yeah.
He owned 500,000 acres in California.
Fuck. We should do a Pio Pico.
One day.
Yeah. If you guys want that, throw
You know who could play Pio Pico? Popeye from Blood In, Blood Out, because he looks just like him.
Finally, he gets to move out of that Popeye.
Finally, a positive one.
Yeah, finally.
Give me some Pio Pico.
Give me some Pio Pico,
Pio
mijo.
Pico. So, Dr. Kellogg and his brother they don't get along, okay?
Not
so
at all.
And they have cornflakes available for everybody at the sanitarium where they do all these physical
We should
gym.
talk about how we got to cornflakes, though.
And they got a bunch of people there, right? And we're gonna rewind right now to his biggest competitor that'll be coming out in the future. His name is C.W. Post, who is the father of Marjorie Post, and he's the creator of Postmates. How do you say it? Postum cereal, and all the Post cereal and all of the cereal that belong to Post, C.W. Post.
Yeah.
C.W. Post, this guy was a self-made man, by the way. This guy made his money like most people. Like a lot of people who went to the gold rush in California made their money looking for gold. But most of the people who made money during the gold rush were people who like Levi Strauss,
Right.
who made pants, because everybody was working with khaki back then. He goes, no, man, I got this durable pants. So he sold Levi's all over California.
Right.
And there was people selling pies. Man, imagine, bro, you have gold, but you don't have cash, and then somebody has an apple pie. Just give me a little chip of that gold. So they were trading for gold.
Yeah, they were
so
trading
the
for gold directly.
And then so C.W. Post goes over there and goes, hey, man, I got mining equipment. And
right.
he invented a lot of the stuff that you see that people use for mining, like the pickaxes. He invented some pickaxes. He invented that rake to scrape dirt and rocks off the dirt.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he did a lot of stuff like that.
And then when he was going crazy, after a little while, he ended up going and living and staying at the sanitarium with Kellogg, which is where he stole the idea for Post cereal.
So we
now you go ahead, bro.
So we kind of meet these two guys here in this kitchen, and right now Post is Kellogg's trying to figure out how to make something that's good for your stomach, and he knows that nuts and grains are good for your stomach, and so first thing that Kellogg makes, and we're all talking, we're gonna accuse Post here soon of stealing, but let's not forget Kellogg himself stole from another guy who stole from another guy. I
know that when I looked that up, that was one of the cereals here, huh?
Yeah, granula.
Yeah,
he took.
Because I said here, Sanita's Food Company, 1897. They started Sanita's Food Company, focusing on whole grain cereals.
And it was called granula.
And everybody called it granola.
And he changed it to granola.
Bro, I always thought granola was actually a wheat that just grew and they call it granola.
No.
Chill right now.
Right, same.
History for food of granola.
So he took granula and the guy found out and he was stealing it and he went to sue him, so he changed it to granola. And at this time, we're still building laws on copyright and stuff like that. But he did switch it, and he had that going on. But he was trying to make something that was more milk friendly, because it was his brother that decided to his brother, who he hated,
C.W.
Will, who wanted to put milk in it, and was the one who came up with the idea of putting milk. So they wanted to make a flake, and they were trying to smash these wheat berries and get the starch out of them to like kind of flatten out, and they couldn't do it. They were rolling it through rollers and stuff. And one night, John Kellogg decides he has to go do an emergency surgery. This is the most plausible story. There's different stories.
C.W. Kellogg, C.W. Post,
C.W. Post, John Kellogg, Will Kellogg. There's all these names. Anyway, John Kellogg, who's the doctor, who's the famous one. He's famous right now. Right now, his brother's not famous. John Kellogg's famous for health and nutrition and stuff. He has to go make an emergency surgery. Leaves the dough out overnight. It ferments. And then when he comes back, he the next day. He's like, fuck it, let's run it through the mill because it's kind of stinks. It's got a little bit of a yeasty smell. Runs it through the mill. It flattens out perfectly. And then that's the birth of cornflakes. Well, chilling, probably right around the corner, watching all this happen, is good old fucking CW Post.
With anxiety and shit.
Yeah, with anxiety from losing all
little
his businesses.
bad back. Yeah.
Having a hard day. He misses his daughter. His wife and his daughter are out spending his money somewhere.
He's already like going a little crazy too, huh?
Yeah, because he's lost like 3 businesses. He's
Yeah.
lost a lot of money. He's like gained a lot of money. He's lost a lot of money. He's going crazy. And Kellogg's telling him, you know, this is because of what you eat. Now at the time, CW can't afford what he's doing there at the sanitarium. So Kellogg hires him to work in his kitchen and to help in his kitchen, and that's where he sees them making cereal. So he leaves the sanitarium, goes off, starts his own cereal company. And
he has Marjorie Post, a little girl, packaging them, huh?
Yep, has her packaging, guys. Exactly, bro.
Little Marjorie. By the way, CW Post, he never treated his daughter like I always wanted a boy. He loved her, and he knew that was his daughter, and he treated her like anybody would treat a child. He took her everywhere. He taught her everything. He dressed her up like a little boy to get into a prize fight.
Right.
And when she was getting bullied at school, he hired a boxer and taught her how to box.
Really?
And then she went back into school and beat the fuck out of that dude.
Fuck. Yeah, dude.
She was like a Renaissance woman, man, because of her father treating her like an equal.
Right.
Like he didn't care that he didn't treat her like, this is my daughter, I'm gonna have tea parties. She said, fuck that. This whole area is gonna be a tea party.
CW Post was a good dad.
He was a
very good dad. Like he took his time. I loved his daughter. It was his only daughter too. They had one other child, and
he loves
she died. And so what?
He also loves side chicks.
Oh yeah, he loved side chicks, bro. He did. He had a couple side chicks.
But then he got divorced, right?
Well, he hired a girl to be Marjorie's homie, but he was banging her on the side. And so like
he was never happy, huh? Somehow,
happy.
Huh? At all. Like
No.
none of this made him happy.
No.
Just his daughter.
And he was sick though. He had like a lot of gut problems.
Yeah.
He had a lot of like dysentery problems. Like he was constantly shitting himself and having issues, which is why he was going to the Kellogg's thing. And then he
was not really he also took Marjorie Post to all his executive meetings.
He did,
and she sat there and listened,
so she could like
learn the game.
Like that was the thing. Is like he wanted her to learn the game. They're like like he either wanted her to learn the game herself or learn the game. So when he gave her the business over to her husband,
his daughter on that. When you saw that thing on
on the History Channel,
the Food That Built America.
Yeah,
there was a decision that she wanted to do, and the dad said nah to it, huh?
Yeah, I can't remember which one that was.
It was a buying of something, moving up to something, but she said nah. Well, anyway, go on.
Anyway, so but at the same time, he's making the cereal, bro, and
making money,
and he's making fuck tons of money. Meanwhile, let's go back over to the Kellogg.
Kellogg's not even selling cereal.
Dude, Will Kellogg is like to his older brother, like, please, let's put the cereal out. This fucking guy stole our fucking thing. But if you put out because right now the cornflakes aren't.
It's famous in that sanitarium. People know it, huh?
Famous, and the sanitarium's famous, and the sanitarium's huge. Can you put up the Battle Creek sanitarium real quick to just give you an idea? Because this is like some little house. And again, we think a sanitarium is like a hospital full of crazy people. That's not what that is. I looked up the verbiage for this because a sanitarium is more of a health, like Felipe said, like a gym. It's like a gym resort, if you will. And that one on the far left on the top. Look at how massive that is. Look at how big that thing is, dude. It's huge.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it has parks and everything in there, huh?
Had parks, hiking places, lakes.
A world.
Yeah, it's definitely its own thing. So you know, and the doctor, John Kellogg, who's the older brother, is like, I'm not trying to make money. I'm not trying to get famous. Like, he's famous for what he does, but he doesn't care about it. His whole thing is health. He's got like 20 fucking like adopted kids plus his own kids. Like, he's just trying to do this thing, but his brother is like, dude, if you put out Frosted Flakes, Corn Flakes, we could make a lot of money. And
so he told him to go ahead, start your own thing.
he's all, go start your own thing.
He started Toasted Flakes.
He started Toasted Flakes, and at the same time,
He goes, you can't sell that cereal. It has sugar in it.
Post has taken his as well, and he's got his, what's it called? Elijah's Manna, which is like kind of some biblical reference.
That's a cereal?
Yeah, and it changes to like Toasted Oats or something else as well. But yeah, they both are like now competing with each other. And that's the thing is Will just wants to take out fucking Post. He doesn't give, and he's putting sugar in it, and Kellogg's not having it, dude. Post Toasties, that's what they were called.
Yeah, that was Frosted Flakes. Well, that was their version of Frosted Flakes.
That was their version of cornflakes.
Anything that they came up with, this fool come up with it too, huh?
Bro, dude, the thing is that CW
Kellogg came up with Sugar Smacks. These fool came up with Golden Bear.
Right. And he would replicate, but the other thing that he would do is he bought out the mills. He went to the guy who made
mills.
He went to the guy who made the wheat mills, and he was like before Kellogg had two mills.
That's right.
2 or 3 mills that this guy made for him, right? Post went to the same guy, had to make him his mills, and then bought out the copyright for the mills so that Kellogg couldn't make any more mills. No one else could make mills. The other thing that Post would do was when the flake thing war was happening, there was all these other guys that started making their own cornflakes type cereal. He went and made a cornflake type cereal and made it cheaper than all the rest, just to shut all those businesses down. Then pulled that product from the shelf.
Post, what Post did, what he's talking about is like, it's like he had Post Toasted Flakes, and then made a bootleg version of that cereal that he owned and made
just
it
to undermine the competitors.
So it's like Nike making Mikey.
Right. Just so
and it was all legal.
Yeah, it was all legal. But the thing that he did was, okay, so
he
now
wiped them out with that. So slick. Huh?
He was so slick. But so Kellogg had all his mills, but they got burned down in the big fire. So the big fire happens, and John Kellogg goes, okay, Will, you win. Let's make a business because I need to get money to get my sanitarium back up on and running. So
his sanitarium burned?
His sanitarium burned down. And they think it was like nefarious reasons, like an arson did it. You know, like the Seventh-day Adventists didn't like John Kellogg anymore because he was preaching past what they wanted him to, and he was talking more about health. So they fucking burned down his sanitarium. But he wants to, so they go back, they go into business. But now they can't get mills because the guy who makes the mills says, I can't, Post bought out the mills. But what Kellogg did was he was like, well, is there any law against you repairing mine? So he has his repaired. And then he starts pumping out his cornflakes again. And then cornflakes explodes. And then fucking Post turns his cereal empire into grape nuts. And he's focusing on grape nuts. And then again, like he's copying everything. But he gets really sick. His dysentery doesn't go away. His butt problems don't go away. And he's gone to all these different sanitariums. Nothing could fix him. He starts to believe he has stomach cancer. And since he doesn't want to burden everybody with stomach cancer, he takes... This is kind of my favorite part of this story is because, like, he doesn't pull a pistol. He takes a shotty and he fucking puts it down on his feet.
A shotgun?
Yeah. And he blows his head off with his toe. Like he pulls the trigger with his toe and he just, you know, yeah. 2014, what was it? What year was that?
1914. And then his daughter inherits $28 million.
28 million.
Which is 600 and something now.
Yeah. What did you calculate it when we were outside? It was like 600.
$66 million.
It was
$67 million.
Something like that, dude. But yeah, she's 27. She inherits $20 million from her dad's.
She started doing what her dad never did. Like start buying the companies.
Well, now was the thing was like that's what made her smart.
She married while her father was alive or when he died?
She got married when he was alive, because she was pissed because he was cheating with her debutante friend.
Oh, that's right, because he didn't want her to marry anybody till he thought he wanted to marry her off like royalty to somebody rich to benefit the business.
Right. And she married, since he divorced her mom, to piss him off, she married the first guy that she got with. And so she marries this guy, and he's not very business savvy. He's not very into it. So she takes over the business when her dad leaves it to her. And she's really smart. She moves the fuck out of Battle Creek, Michigan. By the way, when he died, Battle Creek was covered in black. Like it was like when Kennedy died to them. Like it was just the saddest event.
There was a big ass funeral for him.
Big, huge funeral.
President showed up. Dignitaries.
Yeah, dignitaries showed up. Everybody, like, it was a big deal. Of course, it was a closed casket because he had the top of his head missing. But
put a cereal box.
She moves the fuck.
You don't have to fact check that.
You might have to fact check that. But yeah.
Mausoleum.
So she's smart, bro. This girl is smart. The first
Marjorie
thing she
Post
does
is smart, bro.
is she goes and she buys Jell-O.
Boom.
She buys Jell-O. She's like, fuck Battle Creek. I'm moving to fucking New York and buys Jell-O. And then, this is the end of World War One. And when does the Great Depression start?
CW Post from Battle Creek?
Yeah, CW Post, he's like...
And the Kellogg's are from where?
The Kellogg's are from Battle Creek as well. I mean, they kind of moved around.
Yeah.
When I was reading the book, they're... but you have her at the end of World War One, with not a lot of money, with people not wanting to buy cereal, so she buys Jell-O. She buys Jell-O. Fucking, and Jell-O's this new product. Again, food processing is new. New, bro. And so, like, Jell-O, and if you wanted a gelatin type meal, you usually had to have a fucking chef to go out, chop up the cows, grind up their feet, and make a gelatin.
Oh my God, boil it.
Bro, I don't eat Jell-O. Do you eat Jell-O? You don't because you're a vegan.
But I was a kid, fuck yeah.
When did you know before you were a vegan or after you became a vegan that it was animal product?
After.
Would you have still ate it after you found out?
Hell yeah.
Fuck no, dude.
But now, I used to love Jell-O, bro.
I loved Jell-O till I found out what it was.
Oh man, I used to love ambrosia salad.
Yeah, yes. But I got grossed out the minute I found out it was
crushed bones.
Yeah, it's crushed bones. It's crushed. It's gelatinized.
How did somebody come up with that, bro?
Dude, what kind of fucked up shit, dude? Yeah, it's from horse hooves and cow hooves.
But we put a little sugar on it.
It doesn't say it there, but dude, you look it up, dude.
Bro, remember when you buy that canned ham?
Yeah.
All right. Remember all that? Then you cook it or whatever, but then you put it in the refrigerator, and then you got that Jell-O right there. I told my brother, I'll give you $5, you eat that.
Fuck no,
He didn't eat it, bro. Not even for 10.
Bro, you ever put menudo in the fridge the next day? It's all like.
But there's Asian people that make that Jell-O that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And they put in little bags and they sell them, bro.
No.
And they sell them and they put them in cups and they melt it. And it's like a Jell-O soup.
It's like a soup, yeah.
No, you seen it.
What about what is that shit that they it's like a jelly. It's like pig jelly or something. I can't remember.
So
anyway,
Marjorie Post also she was on a cruise ship, on a cruise liner off Manhattan one night, and she orders fish, and she loved the fish, and then she was like, "Wow, was this fish caught today?"
Oh, it was goose. No, it was a goose.
It was a frozen goose.
It was a frozen goose.
It was a frozen goose. I thought it was fish.
No, it was goose.
Really? Because I thought the history chick said it was fish.
It was goose.
Goose? Okay.
No, it was history chick said it was goose.
Okay, goose. Somewhere else, but they said it was fish.
Someone else said it was fish.
So the history chick said it was goose. And then she said she didn't get it, right? Because, like, sometimes, back then, like, everything was seasonal. Like, you ate a turkey, you waited on you waited in November.
Right.
Because you waited for that food to get fat all year.
Right.
You didn't have turkey the rest of the year.
No. Goose was in season.
Ducks too.
Yeah.
You wait for the ducks to show up during duck season.
Right. You had to have a season. And then if it was out of season.
Did you hear the story about I read this book called the creature of Jekyll's Island. Is this book this fat?
Okay.
It's about the history of the central bank of the world.
Yeah.
Right. So all these people, it's like everybody's on a monopoly game. The trains, the real estate, the electricity, the whatever of all of America of 1901. Right after the Great Depression, they had this big meeting. Right. They figure out how to save America from defaulting ever again.
Okay.
That's how they came up with interest, and they came up with putting a lot of money together to save this bank from falling.
That's like the monopoly busting.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
Too big to fail.
Right.
All right. So what was I talking about? I got sidetracked, dog.
The goose, the frozen goose. We were talking about the frozen goose, and then shit wasn't in season. So if it wasn't in season, you couldn't get it. Like, if I wanted a duck in the middle of the summer or in the middle of the winter, I couldn't get it because ducks went south for the winter, And so like goose was like out of season, and they brought her they brought her goose. They had goose on this cruise, and it was like,
frozen.
Yeah, she was like, "This is bomb. Where the fuck did you guys get this? Like, this is a goose, like in the middle of whatever." And they're like, "Oh, it's a frozen. Go ahead, frozen product."
And then she said, She meant bird's eye.
Yeah, that's how she meets bird's eye. I had
a brain fart right now, bro. I really forgot what I was talking about.
You really? Yeah.
She just paused it. So I come back.
You gotta just chill. Just wait until it hits you. We smoke a ton of weed before this podcast.
I was talking about how.
So you were talking about a book.
Yeah. You're on the ball. We'll move on. Fuck it. I'll text you.
He'll text me. We'll put it on next week's.
She bought a lot of companies out. She bought Bird's Eye.
She's smart, bro, because she
was sitting on that board. She said, I wanted, who made this? What is this frozen thing?
Right.
And she made a deal with the guy from Bird's Eye.
This is how we first started talking about this product.
Yeah, because so Bird's Eye came up with a refrigeration system. He went to the North Pole, and he saw back then they're called Inuits now, but he called them Eskimos.
Right.
And he saw how they live over there in the Arctic, how they survive, and he saw that they froze the fish instantly.
Right.
The fish got frozen instantly.
Right.
So he was trying to figure out how to freeze a fish like that.
Right.
And he came up with it.
Yeah, he was trying to come up with different food preservation ways, and that was the thing. It was like refrigeration wasn't a thing yet. We didn't have refrigerators in our house, so he was developing his own way to come up with refrigeration. but he didn't care about putting refrigerators in people's houses. He wasn't an inventor in the way of like, well, I'm going to invent a refrigerator and it's going to go in people's houses. He just wanted to make something that would keep his products fresh.
Yeah.
And so he invented refrigerating. In comes Marjorie Post. And she's like, so how do you do this? What's your process? You know, because one of the other things too is like
frosted foods.
Yeah, because it was frosted foods. Because the other thing is like you ever, like the History Chicks use a really good example. Like, have you ever froze strawberries and then you unfreeze them and they're not strawberries anymore?
Yeah.
They're just like all fucked up and gelatinous.
Yeah.
It's because when you freeze something like a strawberry, there's small deposits of water in it, right? And then they crystallize and then they spike. And so the spikes kind of drill holes into the rest of it destroys the strawberry in a sense. So what he was doing was he was coming up with a method to where those frozen spikes didn't happen. And like those molecular like frozen, so you could freeze meat and it wouldn't damage the meat when it was unfrozen. And that was what his genius was. And she comes along and she's like, what do you do here? You know, do you want to make a deal? And actually, like, he didn't want to make a deal, which is where he fucked up, because then he ended up selling to her later on. But when he sold to her later on, she offered him more money than than he wanted.
Ton of money.
And then she also said, but I want to keep you on because I want you to maintain the refrigerators and I need you to like monitor the system.
And she has you have a patent on this?
And now she patents the refrigerator. And the refrigerator is like, you know, this woman had, bro, that's the thing is like the Kellogg's were cool and everything, dude. And they created great cereals. Fuck those guys, bro. And her dad was great and everything. But Marjorie Merriweather Post was fucking, she had more money than dude. During the Depression, poor families would come to her canteen and it was like going to a restaurant. They would like have waiters and they would have like cooks on staff, and you would go in and you would be treated like you were at a restaurant. That's how much money she had.
She also set up the first Red Cross in France during World War II.
Yep. And
that shit got bombed and demolished. She said, you know what? Build another one.
Yeah. Dude, she had that kind of money.
Build another one.
Just go ahead and build another one.
She would show her dad wouldn't take her to watch Keith get crowned.
Right. Yeah. She saw a lot of Christmas.
Also, she tried to be in society, man, like the Gilded Era with the rich people in New York. They didn't want her. She didn't feel welcome.
Right.
They looked down on her. She said, you know what, I'm going to create my own place.
Yeah.
And she created that place where Donald Trump lives now. President Donald Trump.
That's the thing.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
She created Mar-a-Lago, which stands for lake, ocean and lake.
Yeah, view of ocean and lake or something like that.
Surrounded by the ocean and lake.
Yeah. Yeah, she
it's huge. She started it and she donated when she died.
She donated it to
the army
society when she died. She donated a lot of her properties. She had like tons of properties that were as big as Mar-a-Lago or bigger. She had a huge ship that had its own barbershop, bar, restaurant. It was like huge, dude. It was like one of the largest ships. And during World War II, she donated the ship.
Hey, you talk about people nowadays like splurging and having bling bling. This lady was a queen of bling. Everything she bought expensive shit.
Yeah.
She bought expensive jewelry. People were like, "Why are you paying all that shit?" But she also gave a lot away, dude.
She gave so much away. And that was the thing was like, this is a fact that I did pick up from the History Chicks as well. And they were kind of grossed out by it, but they didn't know how to react to it. But I thought it was kind of funny is that during the Great Depression, she stopped wearing jewelry because she didn't want to be flaunty in front of everybody. And since she didn't have to wear jewelry anymore, she didn't need to put insurance on her jewelry. And basically all the money she spent on the insurance of her jewelry went to funding her canteens. That's how much money she was spending on insuring her jewelry. So like, but she took care of people. And that was the confusion, you know, because her thing was she was always flaunting. But you couldn't really get mad at her because of how many people she took care of.
Also, she was part of the women's suffrage movement, and she helped get women to get more educated. She helped women to get into push for women to get into university, because back then women couldn't get university. There was no, like she helped women get the right to vote. She helped move that with people, and she also helped open up a lot of Red Crosses in America.
She helped open up a lot of Red Crosses. She helped with women voting. She definitely paved the way for a lot of women, because at the time, there were no women and there were not a lot of women who were making money and were business tycoons. So Marjorie Post did a really, really great service to this country in a lot of different ways.
And I love cereal. I want cereal.
I'm going to go home and eat the rest of my cornflakes. But Cocoa Krispies, dude.
Cocoa Crispy, and what do the Post have as far as instead of Cocoa Crispy? They have corn pops. Fruity Pebbles. No.
They have Golden Pops.
Golden Pops.
Right?
But they have the chocolate version of Cocoa Crispy, which is the elephant. Choco Krispies? No. I remember when we had a dark ass Mexican
What was
food.
post Cocoa Krispies?
Bro, there used to be a dark ass fool in my class. His name is Eric. He was dark.
Cocoa Pebbles.
We used to call that fool Cocoa Krispies.
So there's Fruity Pebbles and
Fruity Pebbles.
Post makes the Pebble cereal.
Fruity Pebbles probably the best.
And Cocoa Pebbles.
The best cereal for edibles.
Oh my God, Fruity Pebbles are the best.
I remember this guy wanted a Fruity Pebble. He wanted to buy my Fruity Pebble. And he said, and I said, bro, it's my Fruity Pebble. He'll give you $20 for it. Oh, all right. So I was he goes, but then he goes, I only have 15. So I got my Fruity Pebble back and I took a bite out of it and I gave it back to him. Okay, now 15. Right or wrong?
Right. I'm with you, my bro. I'm with you.
I love cereal, my man. I don't eat cereal as much as I did growing up, but I love my favorite cereal, bro. Frosted Mini Wheats.
You guys didn't have a lot of cereals in your house.
Right now, Frosted Mini Wheats, bro. I'll kill you.
Those are fucking good, bro.
They used to be called Frosted Wheats, and it was two big chunks, bro. Big ass chunks. And then people were choking on them, bro, because they were too big. Because they were getting little wheat stuck in their throat. But I tell a joke.
That's actually the first breakfast cereal. That's where they stole it from. They stole this original from that guy that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But they were like the big one, the huge wheat. What are they called?
Frosted Mini Wheats?
Wheat biscuits.
Wheat biscuit.
Wheat biscuits. Fucking so gross, dude. Remember when they were that big, dude? And they would you would have to
The worst cereal, bro, is a cereal called Just Bran. Look it up. It's red box.
Just Bran is so gross, dude. So gross. I remember my mom bought us that.
Bro, one time Lisa, she saw her grandma eating it. She was telling me earlier, Lisa, my wife, she said that she told her grandma, "Can I have some of those?" She said, "No, it'll make you dirty." And she didn't want to say it make you shit.
Oh. Yeah, bro, that shit is gross.
There's another cereal that's just, it's in a red box. It's called Bran or Grain. Grabble. Did you see that you ever see that SNL sketch where John Belushi is doing about this cereal that makes you poop?
What is the name of that?
Remember
that.
with one, you would have to eat 2 Raisin Bran cereals to get enough bran of this cereal.
Colon Blow.
Colon Blow. Looking for the Colon Blow box.
Colon Blow.
Oh, we should talk about before we leave? The Munch. Here it is. Colon Brand, bro.
Colon Blow.
But Bill.
Because they were making fun of Total commercials.
Yeah. Also, John Belushi has one where he's just eating a bowl of a box of donuts. It's called Donuts. John Belushi donut cereal.
John Belushi donut cereal?
Yeah. I remember, bro. Remember when
little chocolate donuts.
Yeah, I love that sketch, bro. Look,
I remember this.
that's what is cereal called?
Donuts.
Bro, I used to eat
Homer.
you know, Shaquille O'Neal came up with cereal too.
Did he really?
Free throws.
No way,
Nah,
dude.
man, you have to learn right here.
Oh, well,
Cereal.
a little bit of cereal. Thank you for not panning over to me, Ray. You're a real G for that.
When I was a kid, we went to Disneyland early in the morning, and they had cereal at my aunt's house, and we ate it, and they didn't like it, but you know, fuck it was cereal.
Right.
I didn't like it. It
What was it? You
Captain
remember?
Crunch peanut butter.
Fuck, are you kidding me? You didn't like that?
No, bro.
God. What's wrong with you?
I don't
bro?
like it, man.
That shit is bomb, dude.
I like. You know Alex from Steve's.
Oh yeah. From Unimpressed.
From the coffee shop.
Yeah.
He used to have a cereal bar back
we
in
were
the day.
talking about that.
It was called Gizmos, and he would sell a s'more cereal, and he would put
oh man,
Cocoa Crispy and the other stuff and real marshmallows, and then he'll add the peanut butter Captain Crunch in it, and there it is.
Oh, there it is. Whoa, look at all those cereals.
Yeah, man, rest in peace to his business.
Dude, I always wanted to go to a cereal bar, but they shut it down.
He had a badass cereal bar, bro. Gizmo. It was named after his
little doggy.
His little dog, the rescue dog.
The dog barks at me every time.
So he will make like mad cereal, bro. Like he'll make like a strawberry shortcake, and it was like strawberry Frankenberry, and then he'll add more strawberry frosted flakes. They had real strawberries in it, dude. And then he'll add like that little hard strawberry, the fucking dry strawberry,
the dry
around
ones?
the dry strawberry.
Oh my god!
And then he'll put Cool Whip, bro. And then man,
did you go to this?
No, I saw it. I saw it in a picture.
Oh my god, I would go to that in a heartbeat.
So that place is gone, but there's another place called in Venice Beach called Flakes. If you want to try it out.
Is that it's still open?
Yeah.
Because I want to go to a cereal bar now.
Hell yeah, bro. You got it, baby. If I had a cereal bar, I'll call it Serial Killer. And then inside will be all photos of serial killers eating bowls of cereal.
That's a very good idea.
Like, we're sure Mary will have a bowl of cereal with feet. History for Foos. Butch Escobar.
Felipe Esparza.
See you later.
See you later. Nice. That's great. All right. See you guys next week.